now I want to give all these different textiles the properties I would like to have in my own document. So what I do mostly is I have a nice page handy in which I have all the styles, the fonts type, the size of the fonts, how did I outline it on the page, top, center, left, right. And I always use this style for every score I start, and I even have it saved as a house style, exported as a house style. So, and that's the beauty of this. You can do all the things. You need to do it only one time. You can export it as a house style and then later import this house style again into the next score. So let's start with the header of the first page, and as you can see, I always have it as Times New Roman 9.5. So let's see, and let's open the inspector, the property window, for a moment to see what's going on here. So right now, when I select the header of the first page, it shows me it's Times New Roman size 11.9, and I want to have it 9.5, so I have to change it. We can change it here, of course, and we can do like, for example, 9.5, and there you go. Now it's 9.5, but it will not be part of the house style later if I do it this change, if I make this change here, because when I go back to layout and reset design, which is connected to the house file that is imported, reset design, it will go back to 11.9 again. So this is not the correct way of doing it. Let's if you want to have this stick this change into the house style later on, you have to do it in layout and house style text styles. So we have to edit the text style itself. Edit header of the first page, edit, and from here you can change it for real. So we want to have it 9.5, and I always choose the absolute size. I want to keep it absolute. If you would leave it unchecked, Sibelius will change this number into another number the moment I change the size of these staffs. So I will always want to have it absolute, and I want to have it absolute in the score and in the parts, but this is only about the score itself. So we just work with the score section for now. What else do we want? 9.5? Yes, and there's no other kind of definition here. So we keep it centered, as it says, snap to the page margin, and on the top of the margin 0 millimeter. Okay, and there you go. It changed suddenly. And if I do now, while selected, a layout reset design, I mean, it will stay like this 9.5 because now it is part of the house style. That's the beauty. So let's go to the next part. Instrument name at top left. As you remember in the first video, we didn't use one because it is a piano score, but there is always an invisible instrument name available anyway. So we can just work with it for a moment. Top left, yes, that's the default position of the instrument name at top left. Times New Roman 14, and as you can see, it's already set to that setting. So if we do a layout reset design, it stays like this. So we don't have to change anything here. If you would like to change it into something else, we do that exactly the same way. Edit text style, instrument name at top left, edit, and from here we can change it. Love to have it on keep absolute. So we change something anyway. Next, title. The title, I have a very interesting little system for myself that I put together. I change the font size according to the amount of characters in the title. So it's always at a nice reasonable size. So in this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters, it would be 40. And because I change this always, I cannot include this in the house style. Because every piece has another kind of title and it will be always different. A different size, so let's put this a little bit lower here. So in this case, there's one thing I want to change. I want to have it bold, and it's not included. So we have to go to select the title. We go to house style, edit text style, title, edit, and we select bold. And as you can see, this is still 22 because I'm not going to change the default. But the bold I want to change, and there you are. Bold, beautiful, and I want to have it at the tops, at the top margin. So now let's see. Like I said here, the size depends on the amount of characters in the title. So this is my little system. the next subtitle or instruments in the piece. And I want to have Times New Roman 11. The default is set to 14, so let's select the subtitle, go to Edit Text Styles, Subtitle, Edit, and we put it to, what was it here, 11. So 11, keep it on default, and it's positioned at the top staff and centered. We don't need this one actually. There you go. And now if we do a reset design, it stays Times New Roman 11 as have it here. So of course the title will always be a little bit longer and different, and it can have more elements like an opus number or something else. So the subtitle, we have to drag it on the correct position. So let's go to the next one, the dedication. Dedication, I want to have it Times New Roman 11 italic. Dedication is already set to italic. This is perfect. I don't have to change anything here. But we can do a reset design just to be sure we have the one that is set in a house style. And actually it looks like this is not centered, so one of them is not centered. Let's go to the subtitle, text style, subtitle. I can be wrong here. This one is centered. Okay. Maybe I have to do a reset position. And there you go. Now it's snapped to centered. Let's do this one also. The snap to is default position, but in this case it's on the top. So we have to change this a little bit. Well, in this case actually I don't change it because I never know what's going to be in between here under the title itself. So I keep this drag. I do it by dragging with the mouse. Next one is the lyricist, arranger or editor. Is always on this on the left side, snap against the page margin. And I would like to have it Times New Roman 10 italic. Right now it's set to 11, so let's go to Textiles, Lyricist, and it's set to 11. I want to have it 10 italic. So create 10, keep it absolute, always the same size, no matter if the staff size changes. It's set to italic. It was not set to italic yet, so at vertical position above the tab staff. And that's also something you can, by the way, choose if you want to have this aligned against the margin of the page or aligned in relationship to the staff, to the top staff. I want to see quickly here. Default position, exactly, yes. So this is going to be aligned according to the top staff, and I will show you what I do exactly. There we go. First let's see if this is set correctly. Reset position and reset design. And this is what we want to have. 10 lyricist Times New Roman. Yes. And now I like to have my lyricist and the composer text the same distance in relation to the top staff. And I can set this in by first selecting, and then we go to house style, default positions. So from here I have to choose myself the lyricist here. It doesn't go there even when I select it. And now, as you can see here, default position, vertical distance to staff, to top staff, 12. So I leave this on 0, the horizontal position, because it is relative to note and don't have anything to do with this right now. The vertical position relative to the staff, I want to have it set to 12. And for now only in the score, because I work in the score. And always above the vertical position, above the top of staff. So now we do OK, and there you go. So let's do our reset position. And now whenever I drag, you can see this is also set to, apparently this is also connected to the staff, and I don't want this. The composer and but it's good to see it so we can see how we change this. I want to have this relative to the margin actually. So let's say it is set to the top step. I want to have it connected to the margin and 0 distance from the margin, top margin. So I have to select this here, and there you go. And I go to the subtitle as well. I want to have this connected to the top margin. Snap to top margin, 0 millimeter distance, and the dedication as well. Edit text style, dedication, vertical position, and snap to the top margin. I think I did something wrong with the previous one. 0 millimeters. Yeah, exactly, there it is. Let's go to the subtitle. There. So always remember, set it to the top margin. And there it is back again. So I have to drag it a little bit, same as before. So now when I drag it, only the composer and the lyricist are connected to the staffs. So let's go to the next one. That would be the composer in this case, Times New Roman 10. Selected. What does it say? Times New Roman 11. No, I want to have Times New Roman 10. So 10, always the same size, no matter what the size of the staffs are. And now it has to be snapped, aligned to the page on the right, snap to the margin, snap there. Vertical position, not on the top staff. Yes, in this case on the top staff, exactly. And not on the page margin, I should say. So we hit OK. You see the size is a little bit different. Now let's go to the default position for the composer name. Composer. And we see the default position, vertical position to the staff is 8.5. The vertical position to the staff, no, it's almost correct. So 8.5. Only for the score, and always above top of staff. And now when you do a reset design, there you go. The composer name is 10. It's a little bit higher, but sometimes it's like that. Now if I select this, both are staying at the same position, and no matter what I do, if I take them off, that's a nice thing here. If I select both of them and I go to layout, reset position, they snap back to the same distance as I set in the default position section. So the footer, my footer is right now on the inside edge, and I would love to have it centered. So let's go to footer, we select it first, and edit text style, footer outside edge, I want to edit it, and it should be, the size should be Palantino 10. So we go to Palantino 10, Palantino, size 10, and keep absolute. Horizontal, I want to have it centered, that's what I said here. I want it snap to margin, yes. And vertically, I want to have it at the bottom page, correct, with a distance, snap to bottom margin, distance 5, there you go, 5. And now see the magic happen, there it is. So let's do a position reset, design reset, and you see it stays where it is. Palantino 10, perfect. Now let's go to the page. Well, the page numbers, as I said before, is something Sibelius does, but right now it's set to in or outside edge. I can actually not really see it because I see only two separate pages. That has to do with something else, what I explain into the page number video tutorial. So for now I will just mention that I would like to have the page numbers. I cannot select it either, by the way, because it's automatically generated. I go to edit text styles, page numbers, edit, and now I can edit my text style. Times New Roman of Times Roman 16.7 is my size, 16.7. Keep it absolute only for the main score we're talking about. Times New Roman is correct, and now centered bottom page, so horizontally centered. Snap to margin is okay. Bottom page, and we'll have 0 distance. And now the page number here is gone, and there it is at the bottom. And because it's set to hide on the first page, it will not show here. And you can change it if you want to create other page number chains. You can show page numbers, starting page number 1, and you click on the first page number, and there you have it, on the first page, and there you have it. Okay,